Welcome to another episode of Keep Austin Film. We're here with Jess Gutierrez-Hefner. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited.
I just want to give the folks at home a little bit of who you are, kind of a background. So from my understanding, you're a producer.
Yes.
And you're also the membership chair of Women in Film.
Women in Film Austin, the chapter here in Austin.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Cool. So I don't know a whole lot about Women in Film, and I was hoping that maybe you could give me a rundown on what that organization is and how you got involved in it.
Oh my God. What a story. Women in Film and Television is an international organization with, I think it's 78 chapters all around the world. In the UK, Ireland, I think India has also a chapter. Mexico has a chapter. And one of the chapters is here one of the chapters in the U.S. is here in Austin. And it's been around for, I think it's going on its 6th or 7th year now. Started in 2019. But then COVID hit, the shutdown hit, so it kind of went on a little just Zoom hiatus type of thing. But then when they came back, or when everything came back, they started doing these, what they call the Third Thursdays. And I started going because I needed to connect to Austin. I'm actually not from Austin. I am originally from Mexico City. And I moved here also in 2019, right before the pandemic hit. So I came here in September of 2019, then 2020, March. I don't have to tell anybody what happened because everybody knows.
Yeah, good timing.
Great timing. So I started kind of, when everything started to get back to normal, restaurants started to open up again, bars and all that, at least here in Austin. And that was pretty much beginning of 2020. I still didn't want to go out, but I was on LinkedIn trying to reach out to anyone who had a producer credit or any type of credit in the film industry here in Austin. And I stumbled upon a wonderful human being that I love so much, who's Mindy Raymond. And Mindy told me about WIFT because I was like, hey, I'm new. I don't know anybody. And she was so nice and so open to we actually live very close by in Dripping Springs. And she was like, well, let's have coffee. So we had a coffee, staying pretty much as apart as we are right now. We were still being very careful. But she was like, hey, so, in a couple of months, Women in Film and Television, they're going to have a meetup, kind of like to get back to things, and you should go and you should come and meet other women. And I kind of fell into my space and my tribe when I walked in there. There wasn't many people. I think they had, in that moment, there was like 70 members, all of which were women that worked in some capacity in the film industry. And obviously we're trying to get things up and running. And so this is when I kind of got excited about it, because they had a writing group, which we still have. And I'm a writer as well. I'm not only a producer, but I also write. And so I started kind of just reaching out to these women, and we started talking, and then I met my wonderful, wonderful friend, and now we're colleagues and working on a couple of projects together. Kirtana Banskota, who you know very well.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, she's great.
And yeah, I mean, it was just WIFT WIFT Austin in particular is an organization that we're trying to make a real collaborative atmosphere, and trying to put women in front of the camera, not only in front but behind the camera in key positions, and there's just like the programs that we have are amazing. The programs that we have, they don't only focus on professional growth. We actually just recently had my favorite program, which is Brave Conversations, and it's kind of like a therapeutic group therapy setting, in which you talk about those conversations that you normally wouldn't. Like we've had the Brave Conversations topic of self-image, the Brave Conversations topic of how to value yourself, how to really speak up for yourself. And it's just so cathartic, and you realize that you're not the only one that's going through what you're going through, especially now, like post-COVID, like all these things are bubbling up, so that's my favorite program. They also have another program, the mentorship program, which is a professional setting when you get paired with someone, that has more experience than you do. Or if you're a mentor, they pair you with someone that has least experience. But mentorship, it's geared in a way that both mentor and mentee gain from one another. Because I would love a mentor that's younger than me, now that to show me all the AI stuff and
it's a novel
all
concept.
the things. Yeah.
Somebody who can teach you the ways of the new world.
Exactly. So, and obviously networking areas that are open to allies as well, which are non-female identifying.
That's us,
just
fellas.
like you. Yes, I know. This man. Which allies give a $50 donation, and they do get access to certain things, not all of them, just because they're open mostly to women.
Mm-hmm. We don't get to learn the secret handshake.
You don't get to learn this, or the hymn. You don't get to learn it.
Ooh, we're not even supposed to know about
that. Kidding. No, but they do get access to, like, for example, the table reads. If you're a writer, we had the reading this past week of one of our allies, Philip Ramadi, who's amazing. We had his reading of one of his scripts. And so they have access to that. They have access to, obviously, fundraiser tickets and Third Thursdays, which is, I think, one of our big hitters. Third Thursdays is every third Thursday. We get together and we either have like a host kind of talk about themselves. Like Hilton came this past time to give the announcement that they're helping the industry by giving special discounts to anyone.
Okay. Well, I want to jump in there because it's interesting, because I host a networking group called Awesome Film Social, and I didn't know y'all met on Thursdays, and I was wondering why no women are coming to my meetups, and I think
we get busy.
We're overlapping, yeah. So that is light bulbs going off right now.
So yeah, and it's kind of funny because thanks to the success, I mean, I want to think it's thanks to the success of the Third Thursdays for Women in Film and Television, other organizations have moved their days that they get together. Like some people do it on the second Thursday, or AEB does the last Thursday of the month and stuff like that. Also, AEB was a huge impact on how we get together and everything, because AEB gets together on Thursdays, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
Last Thursday,
Popular
well,
night.
of every other month, but still.
Yes.
So yeah, we have been very successful. Like I said earlier, when I joined in May 2021, it was 76 members. We are at 497
wow.
members
Nice.
this year, and it's only a 3-year jump.
Yeah, no doubt. That's
So,
well, that's really good, especially since you're the membership chair.
It is good for me. No, but it's, I mean, I am the membership chair, which means I'm the face of the members at the board. I speak for them. Every time we make a major decision is, okay, how is this going to help our members? Is it going to help? Is it not? And that's great to also be in a room where, even though we're women, we're all listening to each other. And we might not, hold hands and sing Kumbaya, but we have a common goal. And it's great, And we're proving that women working together are actually a good thing, and not those little rumors of, oh, yeah, they're catty and they're emotional or hysterical or whatever they say,
Okay, gotcha.
So it's been a great experience to kind of deprogram that part of your mind as well.
So there was a name that you mentioned, Kirtina Bunskota.
Yes.
I know that you've worked together a couple times, and the most recent, or maybe not the most recent, but one of the films you worked on was called Love from Ellie.
Yes.
All right. So is that in the festival circuit, or what's going on with that film right now?
So Love from Ellie is a film written and directed by Chantel James.
Okay.
I'm not one of the main producers. I'm an associate producer. I came on when we did the crowdfunding campaign. And not only, I was so happy and not surprised at all, because it's just such a powerhouse of amazing women producers that we have. But we not only hit our goal of $30,000, but we surpassed it, which nowadays on a crowdfunding campaign is so hard to do.
Congratulations.
Yes. And we finally finished it. We had a little friends and family type of, hey guys, look at what we're up to right now. But the biggest announcement is that it got into Holly Shorts this past week. Yes.
Nice. Congratulations.
And
that's
again,
great.
not surprised, because Chantel is such a great director. The film deals with loss through the eyes of a 9-year-old girl. And her dad is a military man, and he passed away, and it's his birthday, so she goes and celebrates his birthday at his memorial. So it does have that sweetness to it of that 9-year-old girl, but it has all these emotions in between. She's joined by her uncle, the brother of her dad, who is also a veteran, but he's dealing with homelessness. Mm-hmm. So it kind of touches on those veteran issues, but it just in such a way that the innocence kind of breaks your heart as well, in that sense. Mm-hmm. So I'm not surprised it got in, because it does have that nice, very curated visuals from Chantel. She's always amazing. She's an amazing scriptwriter as well. So yeah, we're very happy, because Holly Shorts, one of the biggest things it has is that it is Oscar. It gets you into the Oscar shortlist. Yeah. So
absolutely, no, that's awesome.
Here's hoping. So
yeah.
in August, it'll be in LA. It's gonna be a world premiere for Love from LA. Yeah.
Sweet. Well, fingers crossed it does well there. I can't wait to see it whenever it's comes back around this way.
Yes.
Now I know that you mentioned y'all were able to surpass your fundraising goal. How involved were you in the crowdfunding process?
Oh, I as involved as I could be. We all banded together, and it was such a group effort, and it was like everybody pulled their own weight. We were emailing everybody every week. Whatever Chantel told us, okay, we got to send this email and that email, and you got to make these lists and lists and lists and lists of people. And, I believed so much in this. I have also a family of veterans. I come from a military family, so I was as involved as I could be. Obviously, I didn't go to every every scheduled appointment, but because I had to work. Mm-hmm. But if I could be there, I was there. Like, yeah.
So sure. I have a crowdfunding campaign coming up in October, and I'm sure a lot of people watching right now are trying to figure out how crowdfunding works. Do you have any advice or tips for folks who are coming into that process?
Yeah. Surround yourself with people that believe in the project and that will help you lift that weight, because it is a lot of weight to lift by yourself. I think Chantel, Kirtana, and Paulina, who are the main producers, thought very, very well on who they were bringing on. And the people that they brought on, we all kind of really did band together. But that would be my biggest advice, is don't go at it alone. Like, no movie is a one-man show. It doesn't matter how many times you hear that story. That's 1 in a million shot. But if you band together, if you make a group that works, it's going to be a lot easier.
Right. And it sounds also like La Familia has a cause that is easy to get behind, because it's about our veterans. And that's something that's very, integral to the DNA of being American.
Yeah. I mean, in Ellie's case, yes, for sure. I have another film that I'm working on with Kirtana as well. That is not necessarily a crowdfunding. It also has to do with that. Like, I think every project has its own life and its own life force. I always say, don't force your projects. Let them, tell you where to go. I know it sounds cheesy, but it's the truth. Like, it works for me. And this film, I've been writing it for so long, but it's a feature film, and we have talked about crowdfunding, but at the same time, even though it's mental health, it's depression, it deals with anxiety, it's not necessarily a crowdfunding type of movie. So that would also be another advice that I would give, a piece of advice that I would give, is think about what is best for your project. If crowdfunding worked for one movie, doesn't mean it's going to work for all the rest.
Right.
But if it works for yours, yeah, for sure.
Sweet.
Go for it.
I love it. Well, I want to know more about this feature. Now, I was doing a little research on you before you came here, and I saw that you and Kirsten are working on a film called Dollhouses.
Yes, that's the one I'm actually talking about.
Am I allowed to mention the title?
Yes.
Good,
yeah,
good,
it's
good,
fine. No, I did not mention the title. You mentioned it.
Oh, yeah, no, I did my
on
research.
It.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. So that's going to be the feature, and you wrote that.
I did.
Okay, cool. I knew that you were a producer. I didn't know that you were a writer, so that's interesting.
Yeah, well, I'm a creative producer, so I've always been on the development side of producing, like getting the writers or the script to the place with the writers that is packageable, then also checking who's going to be on that package. How is it, how are we going to sell it, not only once it's made, but how are we going to sell it to get the money? Is it a movie that is easily product placement, or is it more of a let's ramble up all our friends and see how much money we can get, crowdfunding, but I had never, and I've dabbled in, I translated scripts for a series back in Mexico City for a whole year, from English to Spanish, because we were writing it in English, and then we made it in Spanish. So I had the tools, and I was learning and everything. And then I had wonderful writing mentors as well. But this Dollhouse is actually the first solo thing that I did.
Nice.
I was working on something else with a couple of people that delved into kind of like trauma, and it was a thriller and everything, but that kind of just went away, and I was like, no, I gotta do something, especially during COVID. That was when I started writing it from scratch again.
I wonder how many scripts came out of people sitting in their apartments going like, I gotta do something in my life.
I need to do something except staring at the wall or the TV, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, cool. I'm looking forward to seeing how that evolves and develops in the future. So
yeah, right now we're waiting on AFS because we're hoping to get the development grant.
Okay.
Hoping.
Nice. Yeah.
Because there's so many scripts out there and only 2 get the development grant.
Mm-hmm.
The production grant is a lot more productions, but the development is only 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like,
how much is the development grant?
It's $10,000.
Okay, nice.
So it's good to get the ball rolling for sure.
Yeah.
And
I bet that's a boatload of work just applying for that grant.
Probably, yeah.
You haven't done it yet?
Huh?
You haven't applied for the grant
yes.
yet?
Oh, no. Sorry. You said a boatload of work?
To apply for that grant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was 2 weeks of writing nonstop and going back and forth with Kirtana. Because Kirtana is the one that officially applied for it because it has to be the director. She's directing this movie. That is how she is. And Ben Skoda Productions is producing it. And yeah, it was just going back and forth like, okay, you know, is this the version of the script that we're going for? Okay, so now we have to write everything, you know, around that. But it's a lot of writing, but at the same time, AFS has done a wonderful job of saying, this is what you need. And it's a checklist, and it's very specific.
Right.
And at least for me, it was so easy.
Nice.
In understanding how it goes. And they also have their sessions, like info sessions and everything, where they go through everything. But yeah, it's a lot of writing and thinking about your script and how is it going to be and where, you know, obviously you also have to write something of where is the money going, you know? We're going to give you all this money. What are you going to do with it? So you got to write more. So yeah, it's intense, but hopefully it'll pay off.
Yeah, no doubt. I've applied for a couple grants, and it's always one of those things where it's like so much, it's a mountain of effort with uncertain outcome.
It is. Well, all movies are, aren't they, though?
That's you know what? That's a very good description of just filmmaking, eh? So I'm curious a little bit about your background and how you became a producer in the first place. I mean, there's so many different positions you can go to in film, and you landed there.
It's funny because in college, I was like, I'm not going to be a producer. And I think it's mainly because when we're in college and film school, we don't even know what a producer does. And that's why we kind of avoid it. But I was part of that generation that everybody wanted to be a director. Mm-hmm. And then when I finally got to do the director side of things in school, I hated it. I was like, no, this is not for me.
Interesting.
Not because I wasn't good at it. It was just because it's not for me. Like, it's not my pace. It's not. Right. I want it to be a little bit more, not independent. I don't know how to say it, but having so many people in the reins, you know, which it made me admire directors a lot more, for sure. But I'm a little more of a loner type of thing, and I think producers can find those spaces where, okay, I can be in my own space, and you're not surrounded by everybody all the time. And I realized that I had a little social anxiety that I didn't know. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I went to film school in college. I did communications and film school just to broaden the horizons. Because in Mexico City, you never know. Like, such a small industry, or it was back in that day. But also small worlds. I actually met one of my teachers in college, was best friends with a prolific producer in Mexico City. He was working with Warner Brothers in Mexico. Then they closed off the production and he opened his own production company. And he needed an assistant, and we met, and he was like, yeah, I need you to come work for me. And he kind of became my mentor. Well, not kind of. He is my mentor to this day.
Nice.
I worked with him for probably 6-8 years. And then he recommended me for the director of development job at Al-Azraqi, which was an amazing experience. 4 years there. I got to do a Netflix show. I got to launch a film that blew the box office records away.
Nice.
After 13 years, and it stayed in theaters for weeks and weeks and weeks. Something that is not a thing anymore.
Yeah, the good old days.
Or it's a very, very hard feat. This was back in 2013, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was pre-COVID, so it wasn't that difficult. It was just such a good film that people loved it. To this day, people keep quoting it. So, and it launched a lot of great careers. One of which is Carla Souza. She is a Mexican actress. She was on How to Get Away with Murder.
Okay,
she was
nice.
Laurel on that. She did an amazing job. She recently did this amazing, and I admire her so much for doing this. Straight out of, I think she had just had a baby or something, and she went straight into training she portrayed a diver in the Mexican the Olympics in the Mexican team. It's called Dive.
Mm-hmm.
You got to watch that film. It's amazing. It's in Spanish because it's a Mexican film, but she recently won awards for that, and she did such a great job with that character. So, yeah, I mean, Al-Azraqi opened up a door of, oh, okay, we can do Hollywood in Mexico. Okay, like, let's do this. And so I started working with other producers. After 4 years there, I decided to go independent. I started developing my projects or helping others develop their projects. I did a very, very small genre film right before I came here. Then I did a small in size, not small in budget, film in Puerto Vallarta called April's Daughter, which was my first executive production. And it was such a great experience. It showed me, I learned so much from that. And it actually went to Cannes and won jury prize.
Nice.
For Un Certain Regard, which is a section of the film festival. A smaller section, it's not the big one, but so it was a great, great experience, and I learned a lot.
That's incredible. So
Yeah.
It sounds like you've got a lot of work done in Mexico City. I'm curious, now you're in Austin.
Yes.
Podcast is called Keep Austin Film.
Yes. Sorry.
No, not at all. I'm actually really interested to get your perspective on, first of all, why you landed in Austin and what differences you see in the Austin film scene versus back in Mexico.
So why I came to Austin is my husband and I came on a vacation. We fell in love with the city. We had wanted to look into leaving Mexico just because I wanted to reconnect with my American side. And I just fell in love with Austin. Like the vibe, the people, the buildings. I mean, the locations here, just here, let alone Texas, but just around this, Austin, they're amazing. You can film a desert scene and then go into a forest scene in a matter of 20 miles, So it's so versatile. And kind of like Mexico City or Mexico in general, it is like that as well. So it kind of felt at home in a sense.
Right.
And also when I realized that I loved Austin so much, I started getting into my research, and I realized that there was a lot of genre film here. Robert Rodriguez was here, Richard Linklater, so all these amazing directors that do kind of the films that I like to do. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, okay. So, and the best part is that Keep Austin Weird thing. I was like, yes, please. Yeah. I'm weird. Mm-hmm. Please take me.
Right.
So, and it's very, very similar in a lot of ways, the industry in a sense, at least in the beginning. Now Mexico has blown up in the film industry, especially with Amazon and Netflix opening offices over there. Mm. And I see a lot of the beginning of my career, how the industry was there here. Because when I started, we got the new incentives.
Right.
Now we got the new incentives here. So I'm kind of having that parallel moment.
Well, that kind of parlays into this question I wanted to ask you, and I've only got a couple more for you, but this one I think is important, given that we just had the incentives. What do you see for the future of Austin film?
Oh, so hopefully it's not only Austin, it's all Texas, obviously, because the incentives is a statewide incentive. But at least for Austin, I do see the potential that to be a hub, to be that hub that everybody wants us to be, the Gulf Coast hub of filmmaking. Especially with all these new studios, building and the new technology also, like all these big the what do you call it, the big screen,
the volume
the volume screen studios like Straight Vista and then we already have the quality talent that we need. Because it's been a commercial town and for so long, all these crews, they know what they're doing. They have the talent. They not only the creative talent, but also, the how to put the lights on and they already have that. The knowledge is there. So now it's time for people to actually utilize these crews because they're already here.
Absolutely.
Which is that's why it makes it so easy and a lot of potential here.
Awesome. I love that answer. So if you had any advice to give a new filmmaker, somebody new to Austin who's looking to break in, what would you tell them?
Well, my very, very humble advice is connect with the people, or network, but network intelligently. Don't just go to parties because, yay, let's go to a party. No. Like, actually go to organizations that, like yours. Keep Austin Film is amazing because, I've had a couple of sessions with you that were just getting into the creative side and jumbling in and out. Like, you were there when Lisa Belcher was showing us a cut of her trailer for House of Abraham, and now she's all over the place with it, which is amazing.
Yeah, Filmmaker of the Year, I believe.
She became Filmmaker of the Year.
Yeah.
And then also there's AEB, where you go to keynote speeches and interviews of people that are actually know what they're doing, and they're not like on their high horse there and giving you like the formula, which is not really. They're like, okay, these are the avenues that you can take. These are the things, So women in film, also, it opens up another realm. But one of the most important things I think young filmmakers need to know is this industry is a marathon. It's not a sprint. You're not going to get your first direction film, from Warner Brothers or Paramount or Netflix on your first try. So it's great that you have a phone and you can do your short film that'll go around in festivals, and you'll get noticed, and then that one will get you, maybe someone is, hey, I got $2,000 for you, And, we can actually rent a camera for a day. What are we going to do? And then next, that one is going to go around, and you'll earn some money, from festivals, or someone will also say, and it's step by step. A lot of, and it's not kids these days, it's everyone that I've seen. It's little by little. Believe me, I've been in this industry for 13 years, and I'm still waiting for Warner Brothers to knock on my door, And I say Warner Brothers because that's, mainly the studio that I worked for.
Yeah, Paramount, don't bother, all right? We're waiting on WB.
Paramount, that's one of the things I don't want to talk about.
Just kidding. We love you all.
No. No, I mean, I say Warner Brothers because it's just the one that I have in my mind because I work so much with them in the films that I worked on with Leo and the films that I worked on at Alas Raki and Trasciende and all the production companies that I worked with. It was mostly with Warner Brothers. They're very active in Mexico and this is before Netflix started. But yeah, I mean, I still am wondering, okay, is A24 gonna knock on my door one of these days? But I'm working on those projects that will probably open that door. And if it doesn't, it'll open another one. Mm-hmm. But there has to be a work ethic behind it. A film is not made in a day.
Right.
It's years and years. I don't need to tell you.
Yeah.
Because you're working on a couple of things, or you've been working for the past 2 years that I've met you.
Oof, for too long. That's awesome. So, all right, I just wanted to ask you one more question that's kind of related to women in film and television, and that is something that I would like to learn more about. Is what do you think are the biggest challenges to women in film today?
I think one of the biggest challenges is actually, for me, and this is completely my perspective, and I might get in a lot of trouble with a lot of people, but I don't love what they're doing right now with inclusivity, and I air quote that very, very much, because it's, just turn that male character into female just to, check a box. I think one of the biggest things right now is we need to hear women's stories, but actual women's stories.
They can't just be interchangeable.
Yeah, I mean, yes, we're human as well, but there's some stories that I would love to hear. Yeah. I would love to see a film about what it is for a 13-year-old girl to get her first period. And it could be a comedy.
It's called Carrie.
It's called... No. No. I know a lot of people say it was. I never saw that, but...
You never saw Carrie?
No, I did. I just never saw the
Yeah, well, it's probably not what you're talking about.
No, of course. Yeah. Or it could be a thriller, I don't know. I just want to see those film, and not only women stuff. I want to see... So men go through certain emotions one way, and women go through those emotions in a very different way. I'm excited that we are starting to see this. We actually got Bridesmaids, which is a film about, can I say a dick flick?
Sure.
Okay. It's a dick flick.
I can't believe she just said that, folks. I apologize. No, I'm just kidding.
It's a dick flick about women, which is awesome. That is interchangeable. Comedy's comedy. It doesn't matter where it's coming from. What I mean by that I'm not loving it is this, character was male, and it has all the male attributes, but we got to check a box. So let's not only make them a woman, but a woman of color. So you're going into, and then that character kind of wishy-washies, and it's kind of weird.
Right. I understand that.
So I do think that's kind of the big, it's finding that balance.
Right.
I think. Yeah. Right now we're in the other extreme. So let's bring that balance.
Well,
make it
sound
human
like anything
again.
That should get you in trouble, but I have no idea what gets you in trouble anymore these days. So
Good
luck out there. Hopefully this whole conversation.
That's why I don't really care.
Okay, so then I'm curious.
Yeah.
I know you brought up the feature. What's next for you?
So next, we have that feature. I'm also in development with 3 other projects.
Okay.
One of which is a series that I don't know if I can give specifics, but I can talk about certain things. It's a series, about Mexican Revolution, seen through the eyes of a specific character, which is amazing. And that one, I know it's going to be kind of like the longer shot, just because, well, it's a 20 millions and above type of series, so that one's going to take a while. But I'm excited for that one. It's written by a Latina, and I'm very, like, that was my first, like, I want to see Latina stories, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then with this same writer, I do have another project. It's a comedy, kind of like Bridesmaids, in the sense of it's a raunchy comedy, but it's female-led, so it's great.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic.
That's a feature?
It's also a feature, yeah. I have that, Dollhouse, and I'm forgetting the last one. Oh, God. Oh, no, I remember. This one also written by a Latina, Mexican Latina. This is called The House in the Clouds, and it's a genre film about ghosts and legends, and it happens in a very, very far off hacienda in Mexico, in the mountains. So I'm excited to bring, and I do want to film it in Mexico. Actually, we're going to film a couple of scenes over here, and then we're going to do Mexico. And I'm very excited to bring back work to my country. So I'm excited.
Awesome.
And to the 2 cities that I love the most. So
fantastic. Yeah. So for the folks at home who are watching right now, where can they follow you, developments on these films, on socials, online? So
right now they can all follow me on @Jess, JESS, G as in good, Hefner, HEFNER. That's my Instagram. That's my LinkedIn. That's my all the things. And I normally post on Instagram, like anything, like little tidbits here and there of projects that I'm involved with things as well, AEB, because I'm also the supervising producer for AEB events. So the other day somebody was telling me, "Oh, you're pretty active." I don't really realize it. I just once in a here and there, I'll do little posts. And then on LinkedIn, I'll do more of like the crowdfunding and a little bit more professional profiling type of posts. But yeah, they can follow them there, do articles. I'll share articles about the projects that I'm doing. Right now, most of them are in development. Hopefully, at the end of this year, we'll have a couple that will have announcements. But for now, everything is in writing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Jess, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me on Keep Austin Film, and I appreciate you. It's a very illuminating conversation. The folks at home, make sure to follow her if you get a chance to catch Love from Ellie at the Holly Shorts. Make sure you do.
Yes.
Thanks for watching, and look forward to seeing you next time.
Where have you been? I've been driving around like a crazy person trying to find you.
I went to see Dad.
With who?
No one. We can't leave until we sing Happy Birthday! Stop it!
It's crazy, Ellie. I shouldn't be here.
You're his brother! Happy birthday, Dad. Love from Ellie.